The NFL season is here, and the Lockdown Defense Sports Network welcomes you to another NFL season. We're here to give you a front row seat to the pulse of the NFL. Join us every Tuesday night as we break down the latest news, dissect the hottest headlines, and fire off fearless predictions that might shape the future of the league. From the locker room drama to game-changing plays, we're just not watching football, we're living it. As the entire hit squad with young RG Robert Garcia, Coach Mike Dub, the real AG Alex Givens, and yours truly, Coach Defense, joins forces with the NFL Nation Live crew, Ref Guru, Violator, and the Saudi pirate himself, Captain Jack Rackham. So buckle up, because this isn't your average recap. This is the Lockdown Blitz, where the takes are bold, the insights are gritty, and the passion runs deep. Let's go. To all my heavy hitters and lockdown defenders, welcome to the Lockdown Blitz. I'm your host, Coach Defense, alongside with me, the hit squad, young RG Robert Garcia, the real AG Alex Givens, the NFL Nation Live crew, Violator, the legend himself, and Captain Jack Rackham. Gentlemen, what is happening? Let's go. Let's do it. Last show of 2025. What's popping? What's going on in these streets? I know
it's already.
It is, man. Last show of 2025, man. It's going out. It's getting out of here like it's got somewhere to be. That's all I can really say.
You guys don't have hot cocoa given to you on set?
No,
I got a mug.
I got to talk to my agent, man. This is bullshit.
I have hot cocoa delivered, man. You can't beat that with a stick, man.
that Shannon Sharp. Look at this.
Not the shade room. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't even get any cocoa. Come on.
Right.
All right.
It is sick, though.
It's good. It's good too.
I tried to implement a clapping directions for my wife. That didn't. It lasted like an hour.
Hey, if you're gonna do that, then she better be in a genie outfit.
Yeah, okay.
Genie outfit. Okay, we're getting crazy
already. All right.
Not even a minute.
Okay, minute in.
It's the last one of 2025. Can't hold anything back now, you know.
Right.
No, wait a second. I got to at least wait, 10 minutes, Coach?
Yes.
An hour.
Yes.
Okay. At least 10 minutes. Okay.
Preferably 15. Preferably 15. Yes, indeed. But yeah, you are rocking with
tuning into the Lockdown Defense Sports Network.
This is the Lockdown Blitz, our NFL Weekly Recap Show. We're going to get into Week 18, man, and we're getting closer and ever so closer to the playoffs. We're 1 week away, and a lot of things have shaped up and shaped out. A couple of things that need to be decided, a couple of divisions on the line this weekend. So we're going to get into all of it, man. Some people that have eliminated themselves already that we thought might be there. So there's a lot to talk about in these streets, man. There's a lot to talk about, man. Quick vibe check, go around the room real quick. Young RG, I know how you feel, good brother. I saw, but
yeah. I was at that game, man, so I felt it a little. Coach knows my emotions were running high following that loss.
That they were.
But you know what? There's still a season to be had. One game's not going to shake my confidence, so bolt up till I die.
Indeed. Like it. I like it. Real AG, Alex Givens, good sir. How you feeling over there?
I'm doing good, Coach. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. I learned quickly that my car will now be engulfed with little kid stuff that I have to Tetris in there.
Yes.
But it was good. Hope everyone's ready for a good New Year's.
Yeah, at least next 15, 16 years. Yes, be ready for that.
I
Yes.
was like, what is? I didn't know a 3-month-old could get so much stuff, dude.
Yes.
I don't even
yes.
know what some of it is.
Well, hey, I'll let you know there, Doc, lawyer, or whatever the hell we're going to call you this year. When as the kid
Esquire.
grows, right, Esquire, as the kid grows, you're going to go through your second childhood. I got another room full of Legos that I haven't even put together yet. And you can always say, well, this is for the kid. And it's just a chance to play kid again, brother. Trust me, it's a good thing.
Getting all the old Power Rangers dusted off, dude.
You'll love this.
You gotta know what Megazords are. Don't worry.
I have a girl, but listen, I don't miss the opportunity to buy anything Star Wars in my house. So you have a son.
That's all the Legos are.
I'm saying
They're all Star Wars Legos, man. It's like
lightsabers, costumes, helmets, you name it.
Yep.
Yeah, all of it. All of it.
And the good part is you have to participate. You can't be a bystander.
Right? You can't.
Like I tried to do.
You gotta be hands-on.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that still hasn't played one video game yet. And I survived that. But
See, I'm just keeping my skills in check for when my kid's old enough. I can just teach him what a real beatdown is, you know?
yeah.
Indeed.
Hey, Wayne, I only got you by one. I had the original PlayStation, and it had like that Moto X game or whatnot, and I put it in there, and I played it for like I couldn't figure out how to, whatever and whatnot. So I have a near mint condition PS1 that's been played for like 30 minutes, and it's like I'm hoping that eventually I can get some money for it.
Put that boy back in the box.
Oh, it's in the box.
Oh,
It's in
yeah.
You're doing it
Probably
right.
get some money for that now.
Right. You might. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. It's probably going to appreciate it more with time. I'm with you there, brother.
Yep. Oh, I still got a what is it? An iPad, a Generation 1 that still has the wrap on it.
You might want to sell that to the museum.
Yeah.
That's going to be a relic.
You know what I'm saying?
Money.
Not a bad investment. Not a bad investment. All right. So keep going around the room. Violator, how are you feeling out there? What's going on in your world?
Hey, I'm good, man. I am in good spirits. Christmas was great, hanging with the granddaughters and, like I say, being a kid again for a few hours while I'm trying to peep at the game or two, But it's all about balance at this stage in life, man. So I enjoy every moment, whether I'm sweating it at the game or not even mad anymore at the game like this previous week. Hey, let's just get it over with, man. Do not win by any means.
Just lose, baby.
Just lose, baby. Yes.
Baby. I like it. Okay. Good stuff. Captain Jack, what's going on over there outside of your nice snowy white beard and your hot cocoa? What's going on over there?
Actually, a couple of different things. First off, I got my hair did today. I got my beard whitened today. No, I'm looking pretty. Okay, and I just wanted y'all to know that. Yeah, I'm looking pretty.
Duly noted.
Rico Suave.
Yeah, like karate and good decisions.
But here's the other thing. I'm glad Wayne said what he said, because I would never, until he said it. Thank you, Wayne. Now I can say it. JLB. Okay.
We ain't talking about the speakers.
Yeah. There's speakers and there's JLB. I would like to see, because we got a game with those guys.
Yes.
Those guys. The Smugs are coming into town. But what I did find out today is, no matter what, even if we do win, we are locked in no worse than the number 2 pick, from what I was told.
Yeah.
From what I was told.
Schedule, all that good stuff. Yeah, 2 at the worst.
Yeah.
You and the Jets? Is that who's fighting for the 1?
Well, the Jets schedule knocks them out, so they'll come in at 3rd.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not a bad thing to be in, because if there is another team that is looking for a QB, if Mr. Moore announces,
yes,
that's just gravy on top of a gravy boat, on top of a big gravy pier, on top of a gravy ocean for the Raiders. Just saying.
Gravy.
Hey.
A lot of gravy.
All right, so let's talk business here. Let's get right into it. We get into our first segment of the day, and we're going to talk some headlines here. So definitely some things need to be discussed for sure. All right, so let's get into our first segment called
Hit Squad Headlines.
All right, so we will get into some headlines. We're going to talk about some things here. It's a lot of news brewing here. Of Cap's one of his favorite places, Detroit.
Yes.
Detroit.
I was ready. I was listening for the right cue, brother.
Yes,
For
indeed.
the right cue.
One of Cap's favorite places, Detroit, has been eliminated after finishing all the way into the NFC title game last year, and had high hopes for making it to the Super Bowl this year. Lost two coordinators
2 years ago, coach.
Huh? That was 2 years ago. No, I thought they played the Commanders.
They got clapped by the Commanders in the divisional as the 1 seed.
Yeah,
Right?
no.
The Eagles are the Commanders in the title
Played
game.
the Niners.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
And remember, Robert does know all about the clap, so he would know what he says on that one.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, Jesus.
I may know
Someone give him a rim shot.
Wow.
I may know about clapping. I don't know so much about the clap.
You're the one that said it, brother, not me, not the old sailor. No.
I think he might be too young for that. That's not his generation. I'm gonna throw him some bail. I'm gonna shoot him some bail. That was pre his generation that was going around a lot. But yes, yes, indeed. So the Detroit Lions,
Then you imbecile, how many times do I have to say Detroit, Leon, campeón, except for this year?
That was not champion. There's no champion there.
Nope.
Not at all. So we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions first and foremost. We're going to talk about their downfall. Obviously, they had high hopes going into the season despite, some coaching shuffling. Still had their head coach, still got the basic core of their offense and defense intact. Made some improvements roster-wise, but it didn't land well. And I believe that, just some members of the hit squad, myself included, were deeply concerned regarding their coaching changes and how would losing Ben Johnson and how losing Aaron Glenn would affect this team. We went through a play calling change with Dan Campbell thought this midseason that didn't reap any benefits. So let's go around the room and get the synopsis of the panel and how they feel about the downfall and what's going to turn this franchise around. Let's start with the real AG Alice Givens. How you feel about Detroit's not making the playoffs? Their downfall. Is it over? Do they have to? What do you got to do? What's it going to take for them to quote unquote get back to prominence?
Man, yeah, it was. I'd say I don't know that it's over, but they definitely are kind of. I'd probably put them in the Chiefs boat of like, they have the core there, but they got to they got to make some serious changes this offseason if they're going to sustain that and continue to be relevant. I shared the sentiments. I think if you go back and watch our preseason videos, I said there's not enough hype, if you will, going around about worrying with Detroit losing Ben Johnson, losing Aaron Glenn, and I thought that was a bigger issue than people were talking about, and that came to fruition throughout this year. They had their moments, but overall just never really seemed to be the same Detroit Lions. And I liked it, Dan Campbell as a coach. Outside of when they play the Chiefs, I want him to be successful because he seems like a great coach that really builds a culture and gets his team to play behind him. But man, they you could see, just by looking at how good Chicago was this year versus how Detroit was at times. You could see how important Ben Johnson was to the success that they had. And, that's just, like I said, they got to make a lot of moves. I know I pointed out earlier after they lost, Jared Goff has a $70 million cap hit this coming season. There's a lot of stuff that's starting to rear its ugly head, and they got to either, get out in front of it or, kind of watch this spiral down. If they don't, and they got to have to get a better, a better offensive coordinator in place that can kind of bring back some of that Ben Johnson magic. But just the way that they ended the season was, just really disappointing, from where they've been. And the fact that you lose a divisional game to an opposing quarterback that threw 52 yards, that's inexcusable.
It really is. Yeah, I think that was the I guess you can say the final white flag waved
It's
when they
like,
lost that
damn,
game.
dude.
It's just like, okay, we clearly not it this year. That's for sure. I definitely share that sentiment there. But yeah, I definitely agree, man. It's definitely gonna take some work on it. You know, what do they do in the offseason? Who do they go out and get? You know, maybe it's similar to what the Eagles have gone through in you know, in those off years. I'm not gonna call this year off year yet, but those shuffling of coordinators. You know, that's the problem with culture setting coaches that don't call plays. You know, when you lose your rock star coach, which you ultimately will, you know, you got to figure out the next move. You know, you almost want to have the next guy in succession, you know, maybe as the quarterback coach, so you can just elevate him and he would just take over the reins like the guy never left. But that rarely happens. That rarely happens.
I saw a tweet that it was kind of interesting talking about, you know, this is the problem right now in the NFL is teams losing these, you know, really important, vital, you know, coordinators, and they should start, you know, looking more at. And I don't know how it would ever feasibly work, but it was talking about like they should have made Dan Campbell like the president of operations and made Ben Johnson coach and kept everyone in the building. And, you know, kind of, and it noted that at other times too, like with Kellen Moore and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, that's an interesting way to think about it. But at the same time, like, I don't know what head coach would be like, yeah, you know, take my job.
Well,
You know what
yeah, I think that's an issue with that because if you still elevate a guy above the guy, if he's the head coach, say Ben Johnson was going to be the head coach of the Lions, if Dan Campbell's still over you, technically, you don't have final say. I think that's what the head coaching job is all about. You want to have final say. You want to build it in your own image. You want to do things the way you want to do them. So if you still have a guy lingering over your head, pause if needed. You know, if you still have a guy lingering, you know, kind of quote unquote making the calls, if he's a GM, the president, whoever he is. He has a position above you, he can still have intervention into what you do. So there's that.
Unless you're on the Raiders, then it doesn't matter if you're the GM because the coach outranks you as well. So, am I saying something wrong? Am I saying something wrong?
He'll stop you when you stop telling the truth.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right, Violator, what you think about the Lions? And what's your synopsis on their disappointing season?
Pretty similar to what Alex just covered. From my viewpoint, the games I've watched of the Lions, there's been a definitely regression in their offense, and duly noted the red zone offense. And I don't know whether there's issues with the offensive line, but I've seen Jared Goff be under more pressure this season, whether that's a protection breakdown or whatever. But that goes back to the OC also. But his QB rating has dropped from like 150 in the mid 150s down to, I think after this last game, they had him rated around 64. And that's a hell of a drop off in one season. So that's a red flag for something major going on the offensive side. Now on the defensive side, they definitely missed their defense coordinator. Now, hats off to the new guy there, but there's night and day difference from them this season versus last season. And they tried to move, what was that main defensive end? They tried to move him all over the field to the side.
Aidan Hutchinson.
Yeah, Hutchinson. Yeah, they moved Hutchinson all around the line to try to disguise weaknesses, but the offensive teams figured that out, and really they can't stop the run. And if you can't do that, I don't care what division you're in, you're getting your butt handed to you most of the time. That's what I'm seeing from the Lions. And watching their faces in that last game that they lost, you can see the players looking at each other like, what the F?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is like 6'5". You can't miss him. I mean, you can't hide him. He's not.
You can't hide him. But swinging him from one side to the other, a good OC can pick up on that or have a plan B for him at all times.
Indeed. All right, young RG. How you feel about the Lions and their, I want to say for your case, predictive downfall?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of rough. Obviously, the injuries to the defense, it's been the same story as it was last year, except last year they were the 1 seed, and people were like, oh, they can overcome it, and then you see what happens in the first round of the playoffs. They're one and done. But in games this year where they rush for under 100 yards, they're 2-6. And I mean, they sit at 8-8 right now. So there lies the problem in why you're not winning more games. You know, that team and that offense especially is incredibly dependent on the run game, setting up the play action for Jared Goff, making sure he's protected in the pocket. And to Jared Goff's credit, he's not having a bad year by any means. I mean, he's at 68% completion percentage, over 4,200 yards passing, 33 passing touchdowns to 7 picks. Now, I will say he does have 5 fumbles lost. So, you know, that is definitely a point of concern. If you're able to get heavy pressure on Goff early in the game, you know, kind of get that ball loose out of his hands. We saw that in the Vikings game, this last loss that they just had. You know, Jared Goff is not great at handling the balls. Pause. So, you know,
you had to throw that pause in there before I can jump your sheet.
Oh yeah, I was ready for you, Cap. Don't worry.
You knew.
Yeah, who the hell is Cap? I am Jean-Paul Jacques.
Sorry, my apologies, Jean-Paul Jacques. So yeah, I really just think that, you know, the Lions rushing attack is what makes that team. And if that's faltering, the defense, like I mentioned, already incredibly injured. They really have nothing else. Jared Goff, as much praise as I've given him, he's not going to lead your team to a victory. He is a very much, you know, let the running game go, play off of play action. He's got great receivers out wide, Jameson Williams, Monroe St. Brown, Laporta. Fortunately, just talking about the injuries, he's been out this year as well. So I just think, to Alex's point, they're going to have to regroup similarly to the Chiefs and just kind of get, honestly, this draft for the Lions has to be all defense. Like, the offense is set. You got everybody at every position there. The O-line is great. Maybe draft a center. But, you know, everything else about that offense is set. They just need to get that defense right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point. All right, Captain Jack, or John Paul Jacques, excuse me. What is your take on your Detroit Lions?
Like I said first, excuse-moi, the guy is not Vietnamese. It's not Ho Chi Song. It's
That was me.
Okay? Well, it is just because Vietnam is a French product, you know, like the Quebec and things like that. They have very, very much, how you say, Francois there. But I forget what I was going to say. Anyway, the French there's nothing like a French. We are ready with the white flag every time. Okay, we are ready. We can put out the white flag when needed. This year was a, how you say, how we are there 22, we are fucked up. It's a fucked up year. Okay, I don't see that. It's a melder, which is the way to say it's fucked. Yeah, that's how you say. But that's okay. Just like the guy over there was talking about draft. Somebody was talking about draft. I don't know. I see a draft, my nipples get hard. You know what I'm saying on that with the draft.
Wasn't that Coco?
Yes.
Well,
I think some cocoa is in that cocoa.
And actually, with a French, with a great case of hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. It's very, very good. It's not merde. Merde is shit, by the way, in case you can't understand for the French. Anyway, this year is merde. But that next year, we will be back. Detroit, Lyon, Campion again, because we are going to rise. We are going to rise just like a white flag rises over France. We are going to rise again. It's very, very easy. It's easy. Bad year, next year is always next year. I'm telling you, it's always next year. And by the way, this chocolate is magnifique.
Chef's keys.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, good stuff.
I will say, to RG's point, I was just looking at the stat leaders, and the Lions have someone in damn near all of them, like in the top 5.
Right.
Like Goff was 3, Gibbs was up there, Amon-Ra's top 5, Hutchinson's 4 in sacks, Jack Campbell's 3 in tackles. So it's like they should have been better. Their division just got better, and they didn't really respond to that.
Yeah,
they've only won one division game.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I was
Wow,
just
that's
looking at the
crazy.
schedule. They still have to play the Bears, but that's all they've beaten so far.
Wow. Yeah.
wild.
Ironic. Didn't expect that at all.
Wait, they got swept by the Vikings?
And the Packers, yes.
I was drunk. I didn't know
They
that.
lost to the Vikings 27-24.
And then that
and
Christmas
then,
game.
And then
Wow.
just now. Yeah.
Wow.
I was drunk on good French fry, and I did not remember that.
Don't blame me.
Right, exactly.
So who do you guys think that they will? What do you say?
Target?
Advance to play caller next season? Because to me, Dan Campbell, when it comes to situational, he's been missing out on a lot of calls, man. To me,
Yeah. I think they got to get some, hot shot college guy to come up and kind of build from there. I think that's probably some QB coach from, one of these good offenses this year, or the McVay tree. I don't know. There's always a few there.
There's always that. Yes.
I really do think that if Mike McDaniel gets fired, and I know that's still kind of on the rocks now after that, mini resurgence the Dolphins had to end the year.
Yeah.
I think that if he gets fired, they should be calling him up immediately because him as the OC there with that talent, man, that team would be scary, even more scary offensively than it already is.
Yeah, and then mess around and get Jameson back in Laporta. That was another thing too. You missed Jameson for more part of the season. Laporta was gone most of the season. That hurts too, and then what we talk about there. Jared Goff being elevated by that run game. That Ben Johnson run game is no joke. We see, the complete flip in Chicago this year. So that is definitely something, especially in these later months where the weather gets bad and you need that running game to lean on. Yeah, it's definitely something you miss for sure. But yeah, I do believe that they got to do some changing and some, I'm with y'all. I would call anybody on the Shanahan or McVay tree that's in the pipeline right now. They're on the short list to call the interview first for sure. So yeah,
or Dayball. I don't know, Dad.
Dayball would be.
I like Dayball. Yeah,
fantastic signing.
Yeah, you talking about the
don't say that too loud. We're still in conversations with him on the low.
Yeah,
right. So, I think for Dayball's perspective, because he was a head coach, I think that he would be on the short list for head coaching jobs first. If that doesn't pan out, then he could do OC. But I think OC is going to be a secondary move for him. I think he'll exhaust all his head coaching options that he wants before he takes an OC job.
I don't know. How many guys fired by the Giants got a second shot immediately after, though?
And as a head coach, good point.
Like all the ones they've gotten rid of, I can't picture being a head coach anywhere else. So,
well, I would.
It was Joe Judge.
Yeah, that's true. But I would attribute the dysfunction of the organization more so the downfall of the Giants and Dayball. So I think I might give him a pass and give him another shot if I'm in a situation where I need a head coach, especially for a good play calling head coach when I got a young quarterback. So yeah, I would look at it from that perspective. But yeah,
I think that that rule. No, what's his name? The guy who is the head coach of Nebraska was a former
Matt Rule.
That rule.
Yeah, but he just signed an extension with like an $80 million buyout. So I think he's waiting to get canned by Nebraska before he does anything.
Yeah, and I'll sit home this time and not take the short payout. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, good stuff. Any final words on the Lions before we move on?
Leon,
John. Yes, John Leon. Yes.
John Paul. You imbecile, mailed it to you there.
All right, so let's talk about another team that's struggling. The Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are on the struggle bus, and they're in the front. When they put you in the front, that means you're not only troublesome, but we got to keep an eye on you. Okay, you can't in the back of the bus. You got us in the front. So they're on the struggle bus for sure. And there have been rumblings all week long about Lamar and Harbaugh being at odds. Harbaugh is allegedly, has issues with Lamar's work ethic all of a sudden, and but it's funny he didn't say that when he's winning MVPs. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. But hell, maybe we'll have it here, depending on what the panel has to say. But sudden, things have changed quickly, with, I do agree that Lamar has been different this year since he's been coming off that injury, but, it's a lot of rumblings going on. We don't even know he's going to play this week. They got a chance at the division. I'm not even sure that's a good thing for either team in the AFC North to be in the playoffs at this point, but you got to have somebody. So let's go around the room and get your honest takes on where you feel like the Baltimore Ravens are heading, because it looks like it's headed for some type of divorce. I don't know who's leaving the house. You know, when the divorce, somebody gets the house, somebody got to leave, right? I don't know, but you guys tell me exactly how you feel about the Ravens rumblings, right? You know, what's going on with Lamar? What's going on with Harbaugh? You know, how does this end? How does this end? Let's start with RG.
Well, I did say last week, you have a generational running back in the backfield.
Yes.
Why not use him?
Why not?
Fucking shocker. Wow. When you give him volume carries, he produces volume yards, and last week, volume touchdowns. What a concept. You have a generational running back, and you finally used him. And because the Steelers are tripping over their two on left feet, you actually have a shot at winning this godforsaken division. Yeah. So I just needed to get that out of the way. But as far as the Raven rumblings going, man, Lamar, you're giving me similar vibes to kind of like what Burrow was saying. And you specifically should have zero that you should not have that attitude whatsoever. You're a multi MVP winning quarterback in this league. You're your own agent. You got paid. Now you got to go out there and perform. This whole, oh, my back, and I get it. It's a back bruise. Yeah, he got hit hard. So what? Every QB is dealing with injuries at this point in the season. You're the goddamn franchise. You got to be setting an example for your team, and you're out here pouting on the sidelines for a new deal. You don't deserve that. You haven't done ish in the playoffs. So who are you to be saying, oh, I need to be sitting out for my injury? This is the second time Lamar has had an injury, and magically he's probably not going to play another game the rest of the season in a contract year or when he's seeking an extension. So that is just all bad right now in Baltimore, regardless that the fact they're alive for that division. It is all bad. If I'm the Ravens, as much as I just crucified him, I'm still moving on from Harbaugh over Lamar because you have the quarterback, and that is the most important piece. And you can, I know we've had this tale about spinning the coaching wheel, and you never know what you're going to get. That is just as much, if not more, true for the quarterbacks. You have a multi-MVP winning quarterback on your roster. There is no way you let him leave the building. You got to figure out something here. But to your point, Coach, this divorce is looking like it's going to end ugly.
The ugly divorces are never good. Never good.
Most usually are ugly.
Hey, stop talking about my first wife. Stop talking about my first wife. It wasn't that ugly, okay?
Well, at least you upgraded. And
by the way, folks, I've only been that drunk once, so I'm still on the first wife. Okay, so that's what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I don't even know where to take that. I'm just going to put that at all. She made me
I need something that Coach couldn't handle. Hot corner, baby. Hot pocket.
I just know better than people's wives, literally and figuratively. I just know better. I don't gamble in the wife conversation, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's persona non grata for this guy here. I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I'm still waiting on the lawyer's wife to pop in a genie suit. That's what I want to see.
Oh, Jesus
All right.
Christ.
What? Okay, all right, Cal. Let's get back on track. Violator, let's go over to you. Tell me how you feel about this Baltimore situation and where you think it ends.
Well, like we've been talking about the matrimony, the whole process. Well, I think that's come to a apex in the roads, a fork in the road, so to speak. If you watch body language, you can see that there's not that desire in Lamar's like it used to be. Now, maybe that's headbutting between him and John Harbaugh, but like Robert just said, when this divorce is final, one of them will be out of the building. And as important as quarterback position is, yes, I would lean forward to keep going forward with Lamar. But there have been some rumblings, if you keep your ears to the tracks, about him wanting to be traded. And our team has been mentioned amongst that. So, I mean, this could turn the whole draft situation upside down if that were to take place. But that's the rumblings that I'm hearing, that he wants out.
Would y'all trade the number 1 pick for Lamar?
Oh, he absolutely would. You're getting more than just a number 1 overall pick if you trade for Lamar. You're getting probably 2 or 3 firsts, maybe another second, probably a player.
Yeah,
like it's a haul, but it's worth it. I mean, again,
but the turn your
Proven
squad,
commodity.
yeah, a 180 turnaround right there, man. Look, come on.
I will say though, if that trade does go through, Lamar is going to very quickly realize there are worse places to be than Baltimore.
Right. Careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's true. That is true. Okay.
Where?
Right.
San Diego? Oh, I'm sorry. That's too soon.
No, Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Vegas.
Welcome to Oakland.
Right. Indeed. All right, Alex, tell me how you feel about this Baltimore situation. Where you feel like it lands and where you feel like it ends.
Yeah, so I to take Violators, saying that I think the Steelers and the Ravens are both at a fork in the road, and whoever wins this game is going to do nothing, and whoever loses is going to be in for some kind of divorce. I think the Steelers would be just moving on from Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they're doing anything with Tomlin, but I think if the Ravens lose this game, they're moving on. And I think it has to be Harbaugh. I don't know with all these rumblings if that's how they lean, but I think it's just he's been there long enough. They need it's gotten stale. They need some fresh blood and new mindset of how to do things because I mean they have the quarterback question answered, but they haven't really, and they paid him and they've had some success with him, but they have not really built around him. Or really helped him. I mean, if you look at Lamar's career, he's never had a true number 1 wide receiver. You know, they don't run the like Derrick Henry. To Robert's point, the Ravens obviously heard him bitching, and I wish they didn't because I had to go against him in trigger cap fantasy, and I got boned by that.
We're 36 minutes and 50 seconds in, and the dreaded. Foxtrot.
Yeah.
I got the Foxtrot. There you go.
But they do that in a game when they have a backup and know, hey, we got to help this quarterback out by giving Derrick Henry 38 carries, but they don't do that with Lamar. It's like, we paid Lamar whatever amount of money, like just go figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think they need to move on from Harbaugh, get a different mindset in there, someone that wants to work with Lamar and build around him and change the offense and not just kind of flex seal it by bringing in Greg Roman or Todd Monken, after that and think that that's going to fix your problem. So, yeah, but if they win this game, I also see them doing nothing and continuing on because at the end of the day, they did what every team sets out to do and won their division and made the playoffs. So it's interesting for sure. And like I said, I hope Harbaugh's the one they move on from just for the sake of, building around Lamar. But it's going to be a wild offseason if Lamar Jackson is remotely available, and that's discussed, about where he's going. That's for sure. Because I can't say I've ever seen a time when a 2-time MVP who's won playoff games and was L'Jarius Sneed punch out away from probably beating the Chiefs and going to a Super Bowl to, now be the focal point of his team's issues and, being talked about being moved on before he's is he even 30 yet? I don't think he's 30 yet. Is he?
I don't think so.
Let me
Close.
See. I get 28.
Yeah. Before he's 30. I mean, damn.
He's still got good years left, man.
Yeah, a lot of good years left in them legs. So, yeah, and at arm. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, quick question for you, Alex. Since you said something about it, it kind of set up a light bulb for me. Do you think Harbaugh's unemployed long if he does get fired?
No.
No.
But I think it's like the Andy Reid situation in Philly. Like they weren't necessarily bad. They were just kind of caught in this,
fail.
Being good enough to be talked about, but not truly good enough to be a contender. And, that was kind of a mutual breakup with him leaving Philly. And, KC had him on a plane that day. So, yeah, Harbaugh's definitely going to have a job somewhere. If not here, maybe he'll go take over Michigan. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, come on, Whittingham. Just wait a second.
I know,
dude. Come on, man.
Okay. All right, Kat. What you feel about
this? You haven't been keeping up with current events. We just got our ass kicked. Sorry.
Okay. So, how you feel about the Ravens, Kat? What do you think they do?
That's a movie reference. Come on, man. Get with me here.
Well,
What?
can you tell me how you felt about the Ravens while we're at it?
Yeah.
We do have a
Okay.
show
The
to do.
Ravens.
I didn't hear my name. I apologize because I was screaming at the thing. I had to look. First off, if the Ravens lose or whatever, and the divorce is definitely Harbaugh. And I had to look. It's not just Harbaugh, because I had to say, didn't the Ravens used to draft well? But it was because Ozzie Newsome was their GM, and I had to look, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Ozzie Newsome got out of that in 2018. I had to look because I said, isn't Ozzie Newsome still their GM? No, he last left in 2018. So it's not necessarily Harbaugh. Whoever is the GM, and I didn't look at GM Ravens. I actually looked up Ozzie Newsome GM, and it told me what it is. It's not just Harbaugh. It's whoever the GM is. Because if he's not getting the players that need to be getting them, then it's not just the coach, it's whoever that schmuck is. So they need to sweep
DaCosta.
Yeah,
Eric DaCosta.
I didn't want to interject, but Eric DaCosta, from what I was told, was
a Newsome disciple.
correct.
Yeah.
And he taught everything from Newsome, like almost like a Jedi to Padawan conversation. Like he taught him everything he needs to know in regards to bringing him for the
Obi-Wan taught Anakin everything he knows, and look what happened there.
Look what happened there, right?
No. I get what you're saying there, and I'm going to say something. I'm going to probably put my foot in it as well. Just because you're a disciple does not mean that you get everything that your boss or tutor taught you, i.e. John Spytek from Jason Light. And I'm hoping I'm wrong on the second portion, okay? Because I'm hoping Spytek got a lot of good stuff from Jason Light. But if this guy was supposed to be Ozzie's disciple, he missed a few lessons in there. So if there's that divorce, that dude got to go too.
I will say, to somewhat defend DaCosta and to give Ozzie just even more praise, his last draft pick as a GM, last first round draft pick was Lamar in the with the 32nd pick. So Ozzie just an absolute.
He took
legendary.
Rashad Bateman though in the first round.
He did take Rashad Bateman. But to DaCosta's credit, like he has drafted pretty decent talent there. Like Tyler Linderbaum, their center, all pro center. Kyle Hamilton, that same
Raider next year.
Hell no, he's a Charger. Hey, you stop that. He's a Charger next year. Don't you dare.
Raider.
Don't you dare.
Raider.
But he's got some solid draft picks besides that. Like, Nate Wiggins this past year. I know Zay Flowers, a lot of people don't like him. He's been a solid player,
He's
though.
good.
Yeah.
He's
Somehow a Pro Bowler, which
I know, right?
later.
Justin Matabuke, one of their best DTs, he was out for the majority of this season since like week 2 or 3, I think, with an injury. So to his credit, he has drafted some starters and some good players.
I got you, but here's the thing. He's been the GM since 2019, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if he's been the GM since 2019 and Harbaugh's been the coach since at least that, then the meshing has not gone well because he might have gotten the players, but the guy didn't take the players. Spytek, Pete Carroll, hint, hint. Okay. The coach didn't take the players and use them effectively. And when that usually happens with a GM that's been there a while, which is why Spytek should probably get another year or so, is because he never mind. We're talking about the Ravens, but they'll probably sweep him. And I would just say he should probably be looking for property just in case.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to shake out because I've seen both sides of this. I've seen trade rumors for Lamar, although that cap hit. Trade or anything is brutal for the next year. 2026 is brutal. It's friendly in 2027 though, so I think that's why Lamar wants his extension now, so we don't get to that line in the sand. But it's brutal in 2026 as far as from a cap hit perspective. But yet again, he still would go on the top dollar. This conversation that they had when his extension was up the last time, when they were acting like they didn't want to give up first, the Atlanta talk, how Atlanta didn't want to give up 2 firsts for him, and all that kind of stuff, the trade for him, when he was under that franchise tag briefly, that's no longer the case. People are going to get in line for Lamar Jackson this time. So if they do decide to trade him, that's going to be a conversation. Do they move on from Harbaugh? Is it like AG said, is the Andy Reid situation where they were winning, it just got stale and they just needed a fresh, voice in the room, to kind of elevate or push the team forward. And clearly both teams have benefited because the Eagles and the Chiefs have both won Super Bowls since Andy Reid left Philly, right? So, hey, maybe it could work out in that space, but yeah, it's going to be interesting talk. And I think we're going to cover it a lot over the next few weeks because we're going to see how it goes. Now, I will say it's a quick hot take, not the spoiler, because I got another hot take for the segment. But what if the Ravens have been playing possum all this time? They sneak into the playoffs last minute, beat the Steelers, and get in, and then just go on a run. It's just,
winning fixes everything, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
They did rip off 5 straight earlier this year with when Lamar was fully healthy. So
yeah, so let's just say he's faking the injury. He's actually healthy and acting like he can't run when he really can. He goes off for like 100 yards, rushing 200 yards, passing 4 touchdowns, and all of a sudden they're in the conference title game, and we're like, what the hell happened? So I don't know.
I seem to recall the Giants pull off 3 straight in the playoffs and then won the Super Bowl.
With Eli, it could be one of those situations. You never know. And the AFC has been no more wide open than it's ever been in the past several years. So it's possible.
It's more wide open than a lot of girls in Vegas. I'll tell you that.
Jesus.
Oh God!
We're not an hour in yet.
He was.
You said 15 to 20, man. I had that beat. Come on.
Once you said wide open, I knew something was coming.
That was a 50-mile-per-hour.
Yeah, something's coming. Something's coming. Something's good.
That wasn't even a fastball. That was a slow pitch.
Yeah, what Cool Kev said. Because I went back and looked at every box score, and the 38 carries that Derrick Henry had last week was leaps and bounds above any number of carries he had with Lamar out there, which is crazy.
Yeah,
looking at some of these scores.
Yeah, indeed. All right, we'll see how things roll, but I got a feeling that we haven't talked about the last time the Ravens do anything here in
something's brewing for real
in 2025-2026 season. So yeah. We'll see how things roll. But yeah, good talk, good stuff, guys. As always. All right, so let's move on down. Let's talk about another segment here. Let's get into our contenders and pretenders segment. We're going to do a quick round of contenders and pretenders. I'm going to give each panel member a team, and you tell me whether or not you feel at this point, going into week 18, 1 week from the playoffs, do you feel like they are a true contender or they're a pretender based upon where they're at this very moment? So I'm going to start with Violator. So Violator, how do you feel about the Eagles today? Do you feel like they're a contender or a pretender when it comes down to their ability to repeat?
To repeat now, that's the key. I'm gonna still say contender because they have all of the elements there. They really aren't that banged up. It's just that whatever you call it, the scheme that they've been running. But when they it's like when they get pissed off, that's when they play their best ball. So I'm hoping all these other teams just keep talking crap about them and keep them like they were when they, a couple of years ago. But they've still got all of the accolades that they need to repeat. But now, will they? That's the billion-dollar question. Will they? Will they pull it all together at for 1 weekend or so and take care of everything?
Yeah.
But I'll say they're contenders in my book.
Okay, I like it. I think that they're doing much of what most teams in the top echelon of the league are doing right now and playing really good defense and steady offense. The Broncos, the Patriots, the Texans, the Eagles, the Chargers, they're playing really good, solid defense, and they're just playing steady offense, and they're winning ball games. But can you sustain that throughout the whole entirety of the playoffs is the question. But they got the formula, if nothing else. I mean, they definitely got the players in the formula. They haven't changed much of anything. If hell, I'll argue they've gotten better on defense, and Fangio hasn't gone anywhere, so he's going to hold it down in that front. So, unless you can make waves against that defense, you're going to have a rough go at it, period. It's just a matter of what the offense is going to look like. I think the offense is kind of stale in certain spaces, and that will make for close games. But, if I had to be a betting man against that defense against most teams, I would say they can at least win 1 or 2 games in the playoffs. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see how things go.
they didn't even complete a pass against the Bills in the second half, and they still won the game. Like that.
That's
It's
my
an
whole point.
indictment to Josh Allen right there.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. They got a problem with getting down too. Because I'm glad you brought that up, AG. Because you're up next. Are the Bills
Get down, baby. Get
the
down.
to you contenders or pretenders? Are the Bills contenders or pretenders?
This is a tough one because they have Josh Allen. They've been there before, and as you said, the AFC is open.
For business.
Yeah, open.
Open for
But
business,
and
baby.
I've said before, I think that's going to end up, if they go far, that's going to be their saving grace, is that they're the one team, outside of Baltimore, fulfilling your hot take, they're going to be the one team that's, quote, been there before, and been there before in years past, multiple times. So they have that going for them. But at the end of the day, man, like I know, Coach, you've said it, that defense is just abysmal. They can't stop the run.
At all.
Everyone knows it. I
Right.
mean, everyone knows it. And, like RG kind of said, they just played the Eagles in what was a, playoff potential Super Bowl preview type matchup.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts doesn't even complete a pass in the second half, and they still lose. And, it did come down to the wire, but, when you have this perennial MVP type quarterback that's supposed to carry your offense, and this is the time of year that he is supposed to do that the most, for that game to go like that with the way the opposing offense is playing, you got to call them pretenders. When you couple that with the defense, I mean, it's there's no excuses for Josh Allen now to not make a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with the way people talk about him. And I don't see that happening this year, just with the supporting cast he has around him. But that, again, that should be an indictment to him, because every QB that's been in his way up to this point is not going to be there. So he's got nothing. I mean, they have to, it's put up or shut up time right now.
It really is. It really is.
We could have saved a lot of time. You would have said Bills, pretenders. Next question.
All right. I'll keep that in mind for you, Cap.
Hey, Cool Cap, they had one, and his name was Stephon Diggs, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Like they were better out without him. So, hey, I'm sure they miss him now, despite the lawsuit. I'm sure they miss him now. Indeed. Okay. All right. Cool.
May I ask what is that lawsuit? I saw it in blips.
Oh,
and
it's not a lawsuit. It's criminal charges.
Criminal,
criminal.
He choked out his personal chef.
Well, allegedly. Say allegedly.
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 Sorry. I should have said it. Again, he doesn't have any photos or anything, and it was over money. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a couple weeks.
Chef, kind of like
Yes.
people that are giving massages with Watson or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
I said allegedly, Coach. I covered you, brother.
You did. All right, so we'll see how the Bills go, man. But I mean, I think if we talk about earthquakes in Baltimore, it's going to be a tsunami in Buffalo if they don't win.
It will.
I'm just saying. I'm saying
McDermott's on. Remember, I said last week.
Yeah.
I think he's the one on the hot seat.
Yeah, I think he is. I think it's really, he should be feeling the pressure because they don't go far. And I mean, and in a situation where you've been dominating your division for the last 5 years and you don't even win that, you let the Patriots get better and to supersede you in one season. You are going to play on the road in the playoffs. You could be playing the last game in your stadium before you go to the new one this week. You could never see that stadium again in the playoffs. It's something crazy. So we'll see how things go, but
God forbid I would ever quote. Oh, and I can't stand this guy. The guy from that's on Fox. He's who's the butthole on
Joe Buck?
No, on Fox. Not Fox.
Nick Wright.
The guy from Seattle. That's just a blowhard.
Seattle.
You got me.
You got me stumped.
Oh my God.
Fox.
He's a
From
Seahawks?
Seattle.
Yeah, I think he's like a Seattle homer. Yeah, he's like the other Jim Rome type of blowhard.
Okay.
Anyway, he said this, and I'll get his name in a minute. He says, Can you imagine the Bills having to go and win three games on the road when Josh Allen hasn't ever won one?
Oh,
That's what the stat was.
wow.
And I'm like, wow, that is.
Yeah.
And again, that ain't happening.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not Al Michaels, is it?
No, I know that blowhard. I know by heart.
Okay.
Colin Cowturd.
Ah, Colin Coward. Yep.
Heard? Okay.
Yeah, Colin Cowturd. Get it right. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I'm not calling him that. I actually respect Colin Coward. He has a lot of good guests on his show, so I actually respect what he's doing.
Good guess. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. Nice guess, though.
Yeah, it's definitely nice, good, really good guess. So, all right. So, going to you, Cap. Let's talk about the eventual NFC South champions, the Panthers or the Buccaneers. I almost come out of both names. The Panthers or the Buccaneers. Whoever wins that division, are they going to be a contender or a pretender when it comes down to the playoffs?
I can answer that in two notes. Okay. Bucks pretenders. Oh my God, that's so easy. Panthers, they'll go. I think they can win at least one game.
Oh,
Because I just like the way that team is coming together at the right time. You know, they got the defensive parts going there. You know, I like Dave Canales and what he's done. And then Bryce Young had a stinker game the last game out. But, you know, I think that they've done enough. And if they come down to Tampon Bay and beat the fake Pirates this on Saturday, I said it, okay, on Saturday to beat the fake Pirates, you know, they could go far. I think the fake Pirates they're just they're already the weekend after the first round. They got their golf reservations squared away.
Get your Cancun reservations ready.
They're going to Cancun, they're going to Copa, they're going everywhere except the next round. But
Yeah,
I think the Panthers can win a game or two.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. Yeah, I underestimated how quickly the Bucks have deteriorated. I really, it's one of those things where you don't know it's rotting from the inside until it really falls apart. Like, it's really bad in Tampa Bay. I don't understand. I thought they would get better by getting healthier. They've gotten worse. So we'll see. But we'll see how they whoever wins that game clearly go to the playoffs. And I saw a stat. I said I think they, even if the Panthers lose and the Falcons win, they still get a division. So they got a leg up in both cases because the Falcons are playing well, as you know, because they clearly beat the Rams last night. So yeah,
I was gonna do that, Rand. How many? You know, Rams are gonna lose the game for the rest of, you know, they've lost twice.
yeah.
Who was it that said the Rams weren't going to lose another game? Was that Coach Dub that said that?
That might have been me. It might have been me. I don't know. You know,
No, I think it was Dub.
Okay.
I think it
But
was.
I shared the sentiments. I looking at their schedule.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
didn't
don't see how
disagree.
they do.
I didn't disagree either. So yeah, I get it. Okay, fair enough. All right, RG. Tell me about the Texans. Do you think the Texans? I know it's a sore spot for you. I prefaced it by saying that, but you tell me how you feel about the Texans today. Seeing them live, obviously, are they a contender or pretender in your eyes?
Well, they're definitely a contender, man. I mean, that defense is just absolutely hellacious. I mean, they got playmakers at every position, every tier, from the D line to the linebackers to the secondary. I mean, they got guys, you know, all over the place, and their offense just needs to do enough. I mean, just point exactly from the Chargers game. They scored 14 points quick in the first quarter, back-to-back drives. They score 6 points the rest of the way, and they still come away with the win. You know, they just grind out these gritty wins. And that defense, when you have that defense, you're in every game. You know, that defense is going to hold opposing teams to probably 20 points or under. What was the average they give up each week, Coach? 16?
16.
They gave up 16 to the Chargers. So, I mean, if you're doing that, especially come playoff time, you are absolutely a contender. And, you know, it's ultimately going to come down to CJ Stroud in that offense. Can you do enough and keep your defense off the field enough to where they are on the field, they're fresh, ready to go, and they're either forcing turnovers or sacking the QB and just really imposing their will.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it was amazing to me is they have remained healthy throughout the year. A lot of defenses that's hard hitting and gritty like that, they get hurt a lot. Yep. And they have remained healthy. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson especially have been playing every game and been a minutes in his entire season. So yeah, It definitely, the defensive held it down, and when they finally figure out their O-line situation and the offense started to at least be competent enough to win games, they went on a run, and you can't deny that. Can't deny that for sure. So we'll
And
see.
I'm so glad you were talking about gritty and grinding it out, because we weren't even talking about the Houston strip clubs, because you got to add that in addition to how we are just that team. We are that team, and I wanted to say to all those Gargler fans out there, and I waited an hour. I waited an hour to say this
on the dot.
Right.
I'm done now. I'm done. It was just wonderful to say.
How can you hate from outside the club? You can't even get in.
That was a good one. That was
Damn.
Oh my!
Remember now, I'm still in my van doing this stuff.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Man,
Don't bring up the van.
Please make sure you're at least 100 yards from a school. That's all we have. That is all we have. Indeed.
Hey, that's on. Oh wait, I need to say this with my hat on. So you got me all flustered. That's only, and the only schools that I'm about 100 yards from are colleges. Colleges, young man. Colleges. I'm allowed everywhere. I never do anything less than 18. I card.
Lord.
Just say you can't be too careful nowadays. You can't be too careful. I don't want to be on with that white-haired guy with the pimples on from NBC. I don't want to ever make that show.
Chris Hansen.
There you go. That guy. Nope, not gonna do it. Baby, I need to see some ID, and it's got to be a real ID, just like in the airport. Just saying.
Okay. All right, 2 forms of ID and a credit card. Yes. Okay. All right.
Your certificate wouldn't hurt.
Right. That's it. But yeah, in Dub's absence, I'm going to go for the 49ers here, and I'm going to do a contender on them. And I honestly, truly, Robert Saleh, ladies and gentlemen, needs an award, a trophy, something of that nature, because I don't know how the hell he's able to keep that defense together with bubblegum, shoestrings, duct tape, everything, Flex Seal. He's kept that defense together and have them playing really good football. And that offense is a complete and utter compliment. And let's be honest, let's say the quiet part out loud. Brock Purdy in the last back half of the season playing like MVP. I mean, you just got to give him credit. Got to give him credit. And they're scary, man. If they win this game, man, I might be missing Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams for this next game. I'll get for the division and the #1 seed, ironically. But if they get that, and if the games have to run through San Fran for the entirety of the Super Bowl, that's a match made in heaven. I'm not going to say it's going to come true, but they get the 1 seed. They don't have to leave San Fran for the playoffs or the Super Bowl if they continue to win. So, you want to see something like that happen, right?
That defense, I know you're talking about Saleh. That defense can be had, though. I mean, we did see
they do go points. You're right.
They give up points like nobody else, and that is mentioning the injuries. Obviously, the fact that they're still winning these games despite all those injuries is just a testament to that coaching staff and how much they're able to keep it all together. But yeah, that defense gives me pause in the postseason.
Yeah, I think it's just a matchup thing. It depends on who they play. If they're the 1 seed, they're going to play the lowest seed out of every matchup too. So you got to look at it from that perspective. So they may end up with a dream draw and end up making a run. Who knows?
Do you think they might play the Rams in the second round?
They just might. And you see how those games went. Down to the wire both times. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. And then the Rams, they got to get healthy, man, because that was another problem with them, because missing the left tackle, missing a couple of guys on defense, missing Devontae Adams. That is a big time, change in a shift that they have to address or get healthy to the point where they can be whole by the playoffs, because they can't get right by then. They could be sitting home earlier than I thought. But we'll see. We'll see how things go.
I do want to make sure that everybody know that I was not the one that brought up draws. It was Coach.
Draw, not draw. Well, singular, not plural.
One draw.
One draw.
I'm just saying, you heard it here. My ears are not that bad.
Okay. All right. So that is our segment called Pretenders and Contenders. So we'll see how things check out. We got 1 week to go for the playoffs. All right. Let's move on down the line. Let's talk about a controversial topic. Let's talk about the value of All Pro versus Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl votes came out already, and there was some controversy, to say the least, in regards to who made it and who didn't. And there, of course, there's always the debate, when it comes down to voting All Pro, because the voting process is different. The fans have 50% of the vote, and the coaches and the players have 50% of the vote in Pro Bowl. But the coaches and the players are the ones, I believe, sports writers as well, have the only say in All Pro selections. So I want to get the panel's thoughts on how they feel about Pro Bowl versus All Pro. What's more important to you? How do you value the Pro Bowl selections, All Pros? Because I know certain people have contract incentives to say, if I make a certain amount of Pro Bowls, I get a certain amount of money, and All Pros and things of that nature. And mind you, All Pro is really one per position outside of, I think, wide receiver. I think wide receiver get 2, running back wide receiver get 2, tight ends I think you get 1 or 2. I can't remember exactly how many you get.
It's a first team and second team.
That's right. That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking about. So yeah. So you only get 1 first team All Pro, 1 second team All Pro, and of course that's difference depending on who you're talking about, and from a quarterback, running back perspective, whatever. But let's start with you, RG. How you feel about the Pro Bowl versus All Pro conversation? What holds more weight for you? How do you feel about those particular awards, and where does it land for you?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the All Pros that hold more value to me, just because, like you mentioned, there's way less of them, with the Pro Bowls. And to the Pro Bowls' credit, I really do think initial Pro Bowl selections are definitely something, to kind of hang your hat on. Where it starts to lose me is when obviously a lot of these guys just don't really want to participate in the Pro Bowl. So you're forced to get multiple alternates. I mean, freaking Snoop Huntley was a damn Pro Bowler one year because so many quarterbacks just did not want to go to that game.
Oh, okay. I was like, who? I'm glad you. I apologize. I thought you were making that one up, and then I figured out who you were talking about.
Yeah. So Pro Bowl, that's where Pro Bowl starts to lose me, is when you start getting into all these alternates. It's like, all right, you're just getting guys to just participate in this event. You're not even saying, that they deserve to be there. You just need guys there. And for the All Pro, it really is, the best of the best. I mean, you can look at all pros from years prior, and maybe all of these guys don't turn out to be Hall of Fame talents or whatever, but that year in a vacuum they were by far the best at their position. So that just holds a lot more weight, in my opinion. And not to say that the fans don't know anything, but the writers, the media, and of course, like you mentioned, coaches, players themselves, I'm going to put a lot more stock into the guys that are actually out there playing and coaching. And to the media's point, they are in these locker rooms, they are, seeing these teams, firsthand. So I definitely put more stock in the All Pros, and for Pro Bowl starters, I high marks, still not as important as All Pros, but yeah, that's kind of where I land with it.
Okay. All right, Violator, how you feel about this conversation? What do you what holds more importance to you?
Well, first of all, Pro Bowl, when they started doing flag, well, long before that, but when they brought flag football into the Pro Bowl, you lost me right there. The last Pro Bowl I was at, they were playing 2-hand touch, and I'm done with that. But All Pro, yeah, that's a little bit more strict alignment because of the people involved in the voting. But I think you get the better meat and potatoes of, like you say, from an informed, not just the fans, from an informed media perspective. So that always carried more weight with me. When you look at a guy's Hall of Fame career, he's been All Pro X amount of years, blah, blah, blah. So I always had more respect for the All Pros.
I like it.
Bring back Sean Taylor laying out punters. Rest in peace.
RG, you got to stay out my brain, because I swear to God I was going to say that. I got to stay out my brain. I was like, bring back the Sean Taylor playing out the punter Pro Bowls. I need those back. I swear to you, I was going to say that, and you beat me to the punch.
You got to be quicker than that.
Right. Exactly. Bad meat producing the show, trying to let people get their words out. You just steal my thunder, man. You steal my thunder, man. It's good. That is definitely. I like that. I take it. Bring that back. I'm definitely with that for sure.
That's too easy. Too easy, man. Even I didn't take that one.
I agree with Cool Kev here. When the Pro Bowl, when it was a vacation aspect, like a reward for these players. After that was gone, it was like, all right.
And I don't know whose idea was that to have it in Orlando or Hawaii. To do the alternate thing.
The NFL wanted to make money like they were doing on the draft to spread it around and to get more money, more participants. It's all about the moolahs, baby. And then, like you said, and also the other thing is this: when they were having to take people out to Hawaii, it was a hell of a lot more expensive.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Again,
that's my take on that too. It was about money.
The money grab ruins everything. Can we all agree to that?
Amen to that.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. Yes. Okay. All right, AG. Tell me, you didn't go out yet, all right? I went RG. Yeah, so you're up next. All right, AG. Tell me how you feel about this conversation.
No, I share the same sentiments. I think both are obviously cool and rewarding things for the players, but the All-Pro definitely carries more weight than the Pro Bowl, just because of the fan aspect to it. It's always cool with the Pro Bowl, and like certain players will make it in their last year, even if it wasn't the best of the years, just to kind of send them off, and that stuff's cool. But then you get players like Zay Flowers that make it just because Baltimore has a pretty big fan base, or not to even throw shade at Joe Alt, but he probably shouldn't have made a Pro Bowl just from the amount of games that he played.
I completely agree.
So to some degree, it's obviously a little bit of a popularity contest, especially with O linemen, just whoever's talked about the most on ESPN for a lot of them, but. The All-Pro is, where you get down to the nitty-gritty, and the players and the coaches that see these guys play and have to scheme for them, are voting the ones that are the most valuable. So definitely carries some more weight with the All-Pro.
I like it. And Cool Kev, that was Goodell. It was Goodell's tenure when Chantel was in there. He was already in there by then.
What they need to do is just get like a $10 million pot and be like, the winning team gets this. Well, then you'd have people flying around.
Oh man,
letting people out.
people would sit out games to play in the Pro Bowl for that kind of pot,
right?
I'm week 18, coach. I can't play, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, he's healthy. Come Pro Bowl, right?
Can you imagine those rookies making the Pro Bowl? Like, hey, coach, I got to sit out week 18. Yeah. I'm trying to go make some money.
Pro Bowl.
We're in the playoffs. I know. Hey, it is what
Playoffs.
Who was the player that got ridiculed for playing too hard in the Pro Bowl by some of the vets? They were telling this guy, "Hey, man, it's the Pro Bowls."
Yeah.
See,
Sean Taylor was one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean Taylor. Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah.
He's knocking people out, and they say, "Hey, bro, this." Yeah. That's when they start to lose.
Talk about practice,
right?
And also when they had all those stupid competitions on the beach, and the running back had an ACL injury.
Yeah.
That's another reason why too. They said, "Oh, we can't have this." And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was a promising running back, and he got screwed for a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of concussions, a couple of ACLs, and a Sean Taylor knockout of a poor punter. It spiraled. It spiraled downhill real fast. It spiraled downhill. I agree. All right, Cap, how you feel about this conversation? How you feel about Pro Bowl versus All-Pro?
Okay, well, because I took a lot of people's extraneous stuff, I'll make this short. It's easy. It's the All-Pro. Because of all the reasons that we've mentioned, the people that were, basically a fan contest on the Pro Bowl, if the players know and the owners know, and damn it, the sports writers, most of them know what the hell's going on. All-Pro, easy. Next question.
I like it. Okay. And I feel like the Pro Bowl still had some weight to it, a few years ago, but when they involved the fans and the online voting aspect of it, you introduced the idea of having bots as well. So that's what kind of waters it down for me. So, not only because, obscure names, like I said, Joe Alt made it when he only played 6 games. I mean, I love him and all. If he had to play 17 games, he would have made it most likely. But clearly guys like that, just to name a few that don't belong on it because they didn't play enough games or they had a bad season, whatever the case may be, them making it tells me that AI intelligence or something of that nature is involved in this, fan voting aspect of it. So that kind of waters it down for me. Now, I don't know if they're going to start to switch, the idea of, because there are incentives to this. Like if I'm a player up for a contract and I got 4 Pro Bowls on my resume and an all pro, I'm going to be looking for a higher value contract than a person that didn't make any. So you have that weight and those incentives in your contract still. So those language pieces are there. So you kind of have to, play those numbers games when it comes to that. I mean, somebody could be hiring a botting agency to make them make the Pro Bowl so they can get more money. Who knows? It could be a house card. It could be a house card.
Wild conspiracy
Ding,
there.
ding, 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 ding.
Hat on
Get
sometimes.
thoughts ready.
Aha, aha, aha. That's it.
Yeah, so it could be one of those things, but again, that to me waters it down. So making an All-Pro or more than one, outside of the last year, would just make no sense because how the hell Lamar Jackson make first team All-Pro but didn't win the MVP, but Josh Allen wins second team in All-Pro, but he wins the MVP. It's weird. It's weird, but again, that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I think that the fan voting, although it is fun to be involved in it, it does water down a little bit for me. So
it's just like the All-Star game in baseball, man. You just got pushes and pushes and pushes of fans, and if you have a good PR department for the players and the teams, it's going to be more apt to get to the Pro Bowl in that fan voting, which is a bunch of crap. I'm sorry.
At least that game means something, though.
Right, and I think that, and I talked about this, years ago when we covered NBA talk, that the NBA's All-Star game was a joke too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All that stuff's a joke.
Spring break. That's spring break.
Right, pretty much. So it just sucks if it's in a cold city because who would have spring break in Indiana?
Won't happen
in February, right? In February, who wants to do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, outside of that, I mean, it's pretty much it's a lot of watered down this going on here for sure. For sure, but we'll see how things roll. But man, yeah, hopefully, they'll maybe come up with some type of better way to delineate it and give more lenience or credence to the award. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. Alrighty, yeah, okay. So let's get into that next segment. Let's talk about Do You Believe? Let's get into Do You Believe? We got a rolling segment here, one of the hottest segments on the pod here. We get our first reactions to questions that I have for the panel. They do not know the questions beforehand, so they could not do any research, could not do any thinking tank type of things to get ready for these. These are right off the cuff reactions to these questions, and we got some good ones as always.
And Mike's not here, so we can actually have somebody else drop the mic today.
True, that is true. That is true. Okay, all right. So, Cap, we're gonna start with you. We're gonna start with you. Do you believe?
Yes.
Rumblings that Max Crosby is unhappy in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Do you believe that the Raiders would trade Max Crosby in the offseason?
Actually, I'll take the heat on this there, Wayne. But yeah, I do believe so because here it's a big time contortion. I think that Max is definitively pissed because Max is a player that wants to play every game, every snap that he's capable of. Okay, he was pissed that he was put on the IR for an injury that he's had on since like week 3, week 7, and he's been playing through it. But I will say this: sometimes it behooves the team to shut down a player that doesn't realize that he's hurting himself over the long run for the team by playing in meaningless games, and he's cutting his career short on something that really doesn't matter. Max plays 150%. I know people say you can only play 100%, but Max does things that you shouldn't be allowed because he plays all the time. And it's unfortunate that this happens. Now, here's the smoke and fire thing. It also comes down to, does Max want to play for, and I'm going to get this, I want to spoil it here in the hot takes, but it all depends upon who Max is playing for coach-wise after this season or at the conclusion of this season. And I'll wait for hot takes on that.
Okay.
But I think it's quite possible that if he ain't digging whatever the owner / GM / head coach to be is shoveling at him, he said, check please, I'm out of here.
Okay.
That's
Fair
a
enough.
shame because he's a true Raider.
I like it. Okay. All right, AG, you're up next. Let's go over to Detroit. Let's talk about the Lions again.
I love how it's there, man. It's Detroit. I love it.
Detroit.
Let's go over to Detroit and talk about Jared Goff. We talked about earlier in the show, top of the pod, how the downfall of the Detroit Lions has happened and they did not make the playoffs. So they got some rethinking to do in the offseason to get back to prominence, hopefully. But do you believe that the Lions will move on from Jared Goff in the offseason?
No, I don't think they will because his cap hit is too big, and it's not, like RG and I kind of noted earlier to when we talked about him. It's not like he's playing bad. I mean, he's up there in stats from touchdowns. I mean, I think he has like 6 or 7 picks on the year. I think 3rd in yards. So, I mean, he's still producing. It's just a matter of getting the right play caller for him and building around the defense to help him out. So I don't think they can afford.
That in game 2, man, right?
Huh?
I said, yeah, it's 6 picks. I said, Gino had that by game 2 or 3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's just too costly, and that would be a sign that they're in for a full rebuild if they do that. Okay.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Violator. I got a good one for you. So we talked about the 49ers and, their ability to be a contender or pretender in our segment earlier. Do you believe that the 49ers defense will be their downfall in the playoff run?
Yes. If there is any weakness, it would be their defensive backs. And you get if they're facing some good team with above average QB, he's going to exploit that and just pick them apart. And like I say, kudos to Coach Saleh for keeping these guys held together, this match group.
Yeah.
But their weaknesses are weaknesses, and good QBs and OCs know how to dissect all of that and break it down with situational football, and that will be their downfall as a defense if they fail.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I would argue, going back to Saleh real quick, I would argue that clearly the Jets were the problem, because he definitely knows how to coach defense and nothing else. He had a top 10 unit the whole entire time he's with the Jets. Comes over and makes, sugar out of SHIT in San Fran, when he get dealt all those injuries, losing all his all-pro players. So yeah, I would argue that clearly he knows how to coach. It's not.
And meanwhile, the Jets don't have an interception yet.
Yeah, damn it. I was just about to say that, man.
I
do it to me. No.
I love how Coach does the Phillip Rivers version. Dadgummit SHIT.
Yes.
Don't worry, Coach. I got you covered on cussing.
You do. Yes, you do. And I thought I had to add that more for effect as well. I think that it had more effect by me spelling it out.
Dadgummit, Coach, you're allowed to. You're at 1 hour and 22 minutes. And I'm saying this without my Texas hat.
I'll let it fly every now and then. I'm not above the 4 letters. So we'll see. When the tide rises.
I know a few 4s.
There's 6 after a few beers, but whatever. All right, RG, I got a good one for you.
Oh, what you got, Coach?
All righty. So let's see here. Where am I? Okay. All righty. So we talked about the Eagles earlier as well. Do you think the Eagles offense do you believe that the Eagles offense will be the downfall for them in the playoffs?
Oh, 100%. That 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, that offense, again, you did not complete a pass in the second half.
Yeah.
That you might skate by doing that in the regular season. That is not going to happen in the postseason. In the postseason, you need a quarterback who is going to throw you to a victory, because the run games get shut down, the defenses step up, and ultimately it's up to your star quarterback or superstar quarterback. A lot of people put Jalen Hurts in that top category. Hey man, you got to show it. You got to be able to go out there and perform for your team when they need you most. And to Jalen's credit, he has done that multiple times throughout his career. But if this offense, and no matter who you want to blame, Kevin Patullo, if you want to blame Saquon having a down year, whoever you want to put the blame on, AJ with his antics, You got to unite that group and lead them to victory, as all great QBs have done in years and decades past.
Yeah. I'm a few years removed, but isn't the Madden curse still in the conversation?
100% it is. 100% it is.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
What do you think about this? I'm gonna throw a little bit of caveat for you in this particular space. If you look at the defenses that are playoff bound right now, we just talked about the 49ers defense being bad. The Packers defense is bad right now, running the ball, especially. You saw what Derrick Henry just did to them. The Rams defense is giving up points. The 49ers defense is giving up points. Outside of Seattle, everybody's defense is a little bit shaky, if you want to be honest. The defense outside of the Eagles are all in the AFC right now.
I was going to say the Bears defense is playing hot, but that's just because of the turnovers. And I mean, you saw it in the Niners game, pick 6, first throw of the game.
Right.
But even that wasn't enough to overcome the offensive onslaught that was
the 49ers gave them. Yeah, exactly. So it depends on the matchups, I think. If you had to count, it really do who they draw in the playoffs would ultimately dictate how far they go, in my opinion. If they get an easy draw, then they'll definitely go far.
But the way that they looked against the Bills defense, when a lot of teams have looked damn near elite against them offensively, is what gives me pause with it.
I agree with that as well. Okay. All right. Good stuff.
I got one for you, Coach. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. So there's obviously going to be multiple teams this offseason looking to acquire a new QB, whether it's through the draft, whether it's through a trade. We obviously talked about the Lamar speculation. Do you believe that Malik Willis will be a starting quarterback next season? No.
I think that playoff. Well, I mean, the 2 games he's had played a little bit of fool's gold. He literally had more yards rushing than he had passing.
Not in this last game though against the Ravens. He was 12 of 18, 280, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, hey, that boy was slinging it before he got hurt.
True.
And the Colts, for a team that has basically no answer at QB next year, why not?
Yeah, I'm not sold. I think that he's benefiting from being under the Matt LaFleur's system, in all honesty. I've seen way too many games where he kind of looks like a duck out of water. Fish
that was
out
in
of
Tennessee, though.
It was. And he's had some mediocre performances and backup duties because Jordan Love's been hurt a little bit here. He's played a few games here since he's been with the Packers, and some have been like world beating, and some have been like, okay, why is he still out there? Yeah, I don't think that I think people will push for Mac Jones as a backup, starter, person who they would try to elevate before Malik Willis. I don't think that. I think he should be comfortable and cozy backing up Jordan Love. I don't think he needs to jump back out there and try to be a starter. In my opinion, I don't think that's a good way for him to go.
He's only 26, by the way.
So he is. He's young. He has a cannon for an arm. He's really mobile, but I don't think I trust him with my franchise. I just don't.
All the workings for a solid career backup.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. I think him and Trey Lance are very comfortable where they are. as a perennial talented backup.
You'll pay me how much to not get hit?
Yeah. Hold the clipboard for the majority of this? Yeah.
Sign me up.
Right. $10 million a year to hold a clipboard. Sign me up all day. Yeah, all day long.
Sign me up.
Yes,
and
indeed.
For those that don't know, or weird obnoxious fact, Malik Willis's career courtesy of the Las Vegas Raiders, because they traded out of the pick
third round
to get Dylan Parham and drop back, and the Titans came up and got Malik Willis. So just like Dak Prescott can give his career to the Raiders because we traded up in front of the Cowboys to get Connor Cook, and then the Cowboys get Dak Prescott. Malik Willis, courtesy of your Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. Yeah, and you're right, RG. He did have 288 this last game. He had 121 the game before that. That's what I'm mixing up. But yeah, I think that's fool's gold. I think you'll sell him you sell him some beach property in Iowa if you sign yourself up for him to lead your franchise going forward. I think that's a mistake, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, isn't Iowa on the Mississippi? So technically, there would be some beach property in Iowa.
technically. I don't know. You don't want to be in Davenport. Let me tell you that. I could see Malik Willis ending up in a situation like Daniel Jones did, though, going, somewhere that just drafted a rookie or that is bringing a new person in and going to have a, preseason competition for it and could play himself into starting. But I kind of share the same sentiments as you, Coach, in that it's a little fool's gold to think, that'd be like the Matt Flynn situation, right? It's like, oh, here's this guy, and ironically from the Packers too, but here's a guy that produced well in a small sample. Here's $80 million. You're our guy.
Right. Yeah, I think if I'm Malik Willis and if I'm Matt LaFleur, I'm not letting him out of the building. Yeah, because you see that Jordan Love, gets things here and there. I need a quarterback that knows my system and runs it well. Yeah, young at a cheap price. Yeah, I'm not letting him leave for anything short of a miracle or them paying him franchise money. So yeah, you let live long and prosper if you get 10, 15, $20 million a year. But if you want to make backup money and you have to get a hit like y'all said, I'm staying in Green Bay if I'm him.
By the way, Matt Damon will play Matt Flynn in the Matt Flynn story.
Really?
Matt Damon?
Yeah, Matt Damon. Okay. Look it up. Look up Matt Damon and look up Matt Flynn, and you will understand what I'm saying.
Identical?
Yeah.
Long lost twins?
Right. And Mike Sarah, if he ever gets out of Cleveland, he will be more than the average starter, but that is the trick.
That's a big if.
That's what we might need to cover next week. Because what does Cleveland do with themselves? Because you got Deshaun Watson's contract still looming over your head. Shador is playing better. What do you do if you're a Cleveland Browns? You keep Stefanski. What is going on there?
Fire everybody. That's what you do if you're the Browns. Fire every single coach in that damn organization.
Just get out the gasoline and just like the match. Yeah.
Hey, if the owner wants to step in and be like, "Hey, we're taking the door," then he can 1,000 step in and be like, "Get the fuck out, all of you."
Right. Yeah. That's an interesting one. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that we get out of Cleveland.
Quick hot take. The next coach of the Cleveland Browns will be Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Draft day. Yes. Okay. Yes, indeed. It's funny that Mike Sarah asked that because that was the question I had for Dub. The Browns. So the Browns build around Shador. Does anybody want to answer that one?
Yes.
Once Stefanski leaves.
True.
Hey, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
There you go. Yeah. If Stefanski leaves, they definitely should build around Shador because again, he's inexpensive. You still got to get rid of Deshaun's contract after another year at least. So yeah, it'll be definitely advantageous financially for them to build around Shador and make him and give him some support and build around him and develop him for sure.
Yeah, I mean he's
Mike Sarah, correct. I shot my
load. He does
load
win a lot.
Okay. I was going to say, the Shador has shown you so much more in these few games than Dylan Gabriel ever showed you. And so just with that in and of itself, you need to just go with Shador.
Right. Get healthy.
Where are they picking, though?
6.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, though, because if you're going to bring in a new coach, you could see him easily saying, I want a clean slate and
I want
my own guy,
Yeah.
Not that that's the right way to do it. If I were them, I would just try to build around Shador and draft every other position and see what you have between him and Watson. But Cleveland doesn't do the right thing a lot of the time. So
a lot of the times, 90% of the time. So then there's that. But we'll see. But I think we all agree the smart move would be to build around them, but they don't always do the smart thing.
Yep.
And there you have it.
Actually, and Mike Sarah is correct. Actually, I think Dennis Leary would make a better coach than Kevin Stefanski.
Oh yeah, by far, yeah.
A lot more swearing too. Dennis Leary doesn't swearing. Yes, I definitely agree with that. All right, so yes, that is our segment called "Do You Believe?" All right. So let's get into our cover forecast. Let's get into some game predictions. So we got some good games on the docket. A lot on the line here. Some winner go home games in week 18. We're not even in the playoffs yet, but I think that's what they wanted with these divisional matchups coming into the last week of the season. So first up on Saturday, ironically, I think these both were Saturday games. One early, one late. The Panthers got to go to Tampa Bay to play the fake Pirates, as Cap would like to say. And this is for the division for the NFC South. So the Buccaneers, ironically, are favored by -3 at home. So who wins this game and why? Let's start with the degenerate gambler as always. RG, who wins this game and why?
Kitty go meow. They're absolutely winning this game. Give me the +3. It's so easy. The Bucs are just on a monumental collapse, the likes of which we haven't seen in a while. Baker, I mean, went from MVP frontrunner to what the fuck, man? Holy shit.
Yes,
I mean, throwing game-losing picks. I mean, it's just been rough. And I know they've dealt with their injuries, but they're as healthy as they've probably been all season, and they are. It has not stopped this slide one bit. So yeah, as much as the Panthers have, they have their issues. Don't get me wrong. Getting swept by the Saints is never a good sign for a team. Yeah, that happened.
Oh my god.
Yes, the Saints have beat 4 teams this year, and they have 5 wins, and that's because they beat the Panthers twice. And crazy enough, both times the Panthers, had they won that game. The first time it would have been to overtake the Bucs for the division, and this past time it would have been to clinch the division. And they just can't do it, man. But I think the Panthers, they're no pun intended, they're gonna buck up for this game, and they're definitely gonna at least win. And I'll take the +3.
Hey, clap back for the clap guy.
All right. I got that one. That's fair. That's a good one.
I let that one go, boy. I tell you. All right, AG. Who you got in this matchup? Panthers or Bucs?
I'm riding with the Panthers as well.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I feel it. I feel it in the air.
I like it. Oh yeah. Me too. I'm a ride the wave. No pun intended.
Wait a second. I should jump on that. Is what I should do.
Oh, don't do this. Don't jump on nothing I'm doing. Trust me. One man smoke here. But yes, Cap. Who do you have in this matchup? Panthers or Buccaneers?
Well, usually I just use this as an alternate Southern hat for like the Falcons, and it works. It works for the meows. Definitely going to get that because the South will rise again, and the South stops at the line where Florida comes after Georgia, because that's where the South ends is the that line, because Florida ain't in the South. There's too many damn Yankees down here. Anyway, Panthers for sure. And like I told you, if they get in the playoffs, they're going to surprise some people. I'm just saying.
You did say that.
Roll with the Panthers, baby. And I can't wait to get in on all these fake Pirate fans and just giggle my goony goo ass off at them after they said that they were going to the Super Bowl this year. That's funny. Just saying.
All right, Violator. You going along with this one, or you riding with the rest of the panel?
Meow.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm going with the kitty cats.
Let's go. All right, we're all on the Panthers. Indeed, I like it. Very rare. Panel's all in agreement. I like it.
And before they get shut out 27-0.
Right.
Don't say that. Jeez, don't say that. That's not a way to start 2026. It's not. I don't want to things like that. But yeah, I like it. All right, so the Seahawks and the 49ers face off, and this could be for the division and the 1 seed. They are playing in the Niners, ironically enough. Christian McCaffrey a little banged up, Trent Williams. So we'll see how they roll out this personnel group for this matchup. But who you have in this matchup when the Seahawks favored by 1.5? Seahawks and 49ers, RG.
Taking the Seahawks in this one. I know I've talked on Sam Darnold. He doesn't show up in big games, but I just think that defense, it's going to be a rude awakening for the Niners after having playing some pretty, tempered defenses, to put it nicely, over these past couple of weeks. Yeah. So I'll take the Seahawks, and I will take the -1.5. It's not a whole lot. I can easily see this game. Yeah, it's pretty much a pick 'em. I can easily see this game ending on a walk-off field goal. It could be low scoring. Again, if Sam Darnold has his struggles where he's just, turning the ball over at an alarming rate like he's been known to do in big situations, I think this game could be a lot closer. But I'll go with the Seahawks on this one. Give me the Birds.
I like it. Okay, good stuff. All right, who you get?
Yeah, I'm riding with the Seahawks as well. I think just with the defense, it's going to be, and just looking at who's potentially going to sit out for the 49ers, and they're already reporting they're going to be cautious about who plays. I mean, they already got their ticket stamps. I don't think it really matters to them, even with the 1 seed on the line. So I think the Seahawks pull it out in a close game.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
needed.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
I saw the grin once you said it.
This is certain trigger words we can't say around Cap. It's gonna garner a response.
These are too easy, man. Come on.
I tell you,
these have been layups, so I will give them that.
And that's what she said. Layups. They got it.
Jesus. Yeah, Cap's on fire today. I tell
Can't
you that.
keep getting away with this.
He can't keep getting away with this.
All right, Cap, who you got? Seahawks or Niners?
I will take the Sea Chickens. Just cause.
Just cause. I'm with it.
I like it. All right, Violet, who you got in this matchup? Seahawks or 49ers?
I'm taking the Hawks also because of the players that the Niners won't have in the game. And like I say, they're pretty banged up on the defensive side also. So I'm saying Sam Darnold's going to have a great game against the Niners D, and I'm taking the Seahawks.
Okay. I don't trust. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust Sam Darnold at all.
Yeah.
I don't.
Keep the faith.
Come on, coach, make it a sweep, baby. Make it a sweep.
I'm having a tough time, but it's one of those caveats. If Christmas McCaffrey and Trey Williams play, I'm taking the Niners all day. Only team that I feel like could probably stop their run game is the Seahawks because of the front, but I don't trust Sam Darnold, especially in big spots with the pressure on, of the 1 seed in the division on the line, all those kind of things, bright lights, big city, primetime solo game. I don't trust him. I don't. But no CMC, no Trent Williams. I got to roll with the Seahawks. I can't in good conscience think that they're going to beat them without those two. And I'm thinking they're not going to play. So I think, like you said, to AG's point, I think the 49ers are just happy to make it to the dance. The whole pressure of having every home game in 49er land through the Super Bowl is not something they care about. They just want to get in and make it through the playoffs healthy. So, yeah, I think the Seahawks win this matchup and be the 1 seed and might get one and done in the playoffs. Who knows?
So you're saying there's a chance that you're taking
there's a chance, but I'm taking the Seahawks. Okay. All right. And this game took a turn today because they just decided to sit Phillip Rivers. But I still picked it because of the line. It's -10.
Should be -20.
Yeah, I know, right? So the Colts and the Texans play, and the Texans have something to play for because they could somehow, some way win a division if the Jags falter against the Titans, which I don't think happens, but whatever. But yes, I do believe that there's still a game that matters and the line is a lot. So we'll talk about Colts and Texans next. Who you got in this one, RG? Colts and Texans?
Texans, give me Texans. You can go -10, -20, -30. This is going to be a fucking massacre, man. Poor Riley Leonard, man.
I know.
What? If I'm Riley Leonard, I'm suing the Colts. Because what the hell do you mean?
Right.
Yeah, first of all, you bring in a 44-year-old off the bench when I could be getting, plenty of playing time to kind of show you what I can do. Then you bring me in to throw a Hail Mary. So my stat line for the game is 0 for 1 with a pick.
Right.
And then now you're like, yeah, just go die against the Texans defense.
You know what? Yeah, we don't want to pay for Phillip Rivers feeding tube for the rest of his life. So Riley, get out there.
That's a decision. That's a business decision.
Yeah. Absolutely criminal what the Colts have done to this man.
It really is.
Don't do me wrong on this one. I actually took the points when the Texans were playing wrong hat. When the Texans were playing my Raiders, I said, yeah, the Raiders are going to lose by 15. And what happened? So you best be correct there, shipmate, or I'm going to come out to Arizona to find. Well, I'll come out to Arizona to find you anyway. But it better be because, like I said, I'd like to get some easy money on this. Just saying.
Yeah, if you want to play it extra safe, go -7. But I don't
know how to do that in the app.
Okay, then take the -10. This should be a cakewalk for the Texans. If this is even close, that is
knock on wood for you there.
Yeah,
let's not talk about that. How bad that Colts defense is at this moment. So yeah, that's another factor. So yes.
Okay, I'm hoping I need some money.
Okay, yeah, I say bet. I think I say bet. You got the same take AG Colts and
yes,
Texans?
sir. Okay. Blood bath.
Blood bath. Yes.
Bloodbath McGrath.
Hell in a Cell WWE match, Undertaker and Mick Foley. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those.
Oh man.
All right, Cap. I'm assuming because you're taking the Texans in your FanDuel app, you're going to roll with Houston. I'm pretty sure.
Well, first off, I'm Tex. I'm Houston Tex. You need to know who the hell you're talking to with the hat. Okay?
Get a sign.
Dadgummit, I'm going to take a word out of Phillip Rivers. Is a dadgummit, you better learn who you talking to. And I kept it. I didn't say it. I just said,
yes.
fuck.
Anyway,
it's easy. And I'm going to take my boys. I'm going to take that 10 and I'm going to lay a whole $1 on them. Hopefully
there you go. All right. Good stuff. All right, Violator, who you got in this matchup? Colts or Texans?
I got Texans with a side of barbecue to go on
there
this
you
one.
go. Yeah. Definitely barbecue chicken. I wouldn't even play Jonathan Taylor for this game. Why bother? I
just take the barbecue. It don't even matter who's playing.
Yeah. It's the exercise of futility for sure. It's gonna be a bad one.
Yes.
All right, last game on the docket in the Sad Bowl.
Just the Depression Bowl.
Right?
Well, it's better than the Toilet Bowl that we just saw last week.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Actually, that might be more entertaining because we at least know we're going to get the 1 seed in the draft. But so the Ravens got to go to Pittsburgh and play the Steelers this week. We don't know if Lamar's going to play, but right now the line is 3.5. So I guess they're assuming he's going to play because, no way the hell they're favored if he does not play. But who do you have in this one, RG? Ravens or the Steelers?
Can I pick a tie? Do
Yeah,
I have to? Do I got to pick a winner in this?
The Garglers are good for ties. That was too easy. That was another layup. There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, this is a damn coin toss, man. I don't know how. I'll take Steelers plus 3.5. You're giving me 3 points for a game that I feel like is going to be incredibly nip and tuck. I guess I'll go with the Steelers, but there is zero confidence.
You feel dirty.
Yeah, I feel awful saying that, but there is. I don't even know, man. This game is either going to be nightmare fuel or it's going to be one of the greatest games of the season. There's no in between.
Okay, good stuff. All right, AG, who you got? Ravens or Steelers?
Ravens.
Oh,
done deal.
Points. Okay, all right.
Pitt just looked too bad without DK, man. I don't got any faith in that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point. I like that.
Lamar or not, if Snoop Tyler Huntley's out there, they're going to give Derrick Henry 40 carries and they'll be all right.
Maybe no TJ Watt in this game too. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
All right, Cap, we got Ravens or Steelers.
See, all these things I got to think about because all these people that are not, who's not playing? Watt's not playing. DK's not playing. Who else?
Watt hasn't been playing.
Yeah,
DK got suspended.
So he's definitely not playing.
Right.
Assaulting the fan.
Yeah.
And then Lamar is a big question mark at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Ravens are given 3.5.
Yep.
Okay. I hate picking against the Steelers in January. That's bad. That's bad juju. But okay, I think that the Ravens will win, but I think it's going to be closer than 3.5.
So Steelers cover.
That's what I'm.
That's what that means.
So I take the Steelers in the 3.5.
Yeah, I would take Steelers plus 3.5 in this one because if it gets ruled that Lamar is going to be out, that line is going to flip immediately.
Immediately, yeah. I would bet it now. Yeah.
I'll do it as soon as the show's over.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Violator, who you got? Ravens or Steelers?
I'm taking the Ravens because I think this is going to come down to a ground and pound for real. And I don't think the Steelers have that run game to sustain. I think Mr. Henry is going to try to set some more records because he, like I say, I think this is his last hurrah. So he's leaving nothing on the table. And whether Lamar plays or not, I don't even think it factors into it. I think the Ravens are just going to play ball control and keep Aaron Rodgers sitting there shivering in his cowl.
Yeah. What do you think about the conspiracy? They said they were more concerned about Myles Garrett not breaking the sack record on them than playing actual football in Pittsburgh.
Loser mentality.
Yeah, right.
How the hell is that what you're focused on?
Right.
You can win the damn game and clinch your playoff spot. There's no way in hell. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, hey, sack me 4 times. If we get this win, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, well, and so that leads to a thank you for bringing that up. Who do the Browns play this week, and does Garrett get the record?
Oh, they're playing the other AFC.
Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
he's getting that record.
He's getting that record.
He just needs 1 sack, right?
He might break about 4.
Yeah.
He needs one.
He might get a first play of the game.
He just might.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna see if I can find that on my app.
Okay.
Side note: if I'm the Bengals, I'm triple, double team. I don't care if anybody else sacks me. I'm making as petty as I can be as a division rival. I'm making sure he doesn't get that record.
That's funny, and that's kind of what they did against the Steelers did last week. That's kind of what they did.
Yeah,
But at the same time, what Mike Tomlin said after, he's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I be worried about Myles Garrett? Like it's Myles Garrett, you know?
Right. That's true. Yeah.
I don't know what offense is like. Hey, we need to worry about this guy."
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I'm with the Steelers in the points, but I think the Ravens will win, regardless of who the quarterback is. I think the Ravens win, but I think it's close. I think the Steelers in the points in that space. So we'll see.
I got to remember Steelers and points.
I could see it also being like that scene in Waterboy, you know, where he intercepts the ball and throws it back to him.
Right.
No, you take it.
62.
There you are.
I love my mama very much.
Yeah.
Now you know that.
Good one.
And you got something wrong with your medulla oblongata.
Right. Coach Klein said I could, fellas. It's fine. Coach Klein said I could. Yes, indeed. All right, so that's our games of the week. So let's get into our fourth and final segment before we get up out of here for the last show of 2025. So we're getting into our last segment for our hot takes of the week. So this is where we, air our grievances, talk about anything that we think is going to happen, a hot take that nobody sees on the horizon. And I got a good one for y'all, so I'm gonna save it. I'll let y'all go first, and then I'll close the show out with mine because it's gonna be a good one. But I believe that it's going to be something brewing, in the off season. But we'll get to it. So does anybody have a hot take that they want to breed into the atmosphere? Put into the the metaverse and let it cook. Let's go, Cap.
I'll do the Arnold Horshack. Oh! And if you guys don't know who Arnold Horshack is, look it the fuck up. Okay, here it is. Just like last year, the Raiders will trot out their head coach on Black Monday, in this case, Pete Carroll. And just like last year, there will be some sort of announcement where he's like either gone or retired, but they're gonna let him do the last, kind of like for the save face thing. They're gonna let him do that last press conference, that the coach does on Black Monday, just like they did with AP last year, and then he's gonna be gone. And I would say look for a name like Shula or LaFleur or Jesse Minter
Ain't no way.
As your
no
next.
Ain't no way in hell 50 minutes leading the charges for the Raiders.
Hell no.
Right there. Ain't no way in hell. Anyway,
I'm just saying it just to piss you guys off anyway. So
Coach money starts looming around, though. They might.
I don't doubt that he might be in contention for a head coaching job next year, but ain't no way he goes to the Raiders. No shot.
Oh boy, I tell you, if that happens, I'm gonna giggle goony goo goo just like I did this weekend when and I watched that game and I said, boy, I can't wait till Tuesday to get on the Gargler fans for losing that game. I'm sorry, because if it happens,
we're the playoff team. We didn't lose to the Saints, but
but I will say this: the Raiders played the Texans closer than y'all did, and we played them in Houston.
True. But that's trap game.
But dude, you never had the car. You never had the car.
Never had me.
I'm just saying because that was the stat. The Raiders played the Texans better than y'all did. You were at home, and we were in Houston.
That's a little
Full circle. I believe a very early episode this year, you told me it doesn't matter about ifs and buts. It's the score at the end of the day, and they lost just like the Chargers lost. So
I got
in the same boat.
And now I can say this because I told people I would never say this S word. And it's not the S word you're thinking about. I could not say that the Raiders suck until they were officially worse than they were last year. So I said I was going to wait and wait and wait. And now that we are officially worse than we were last year, we suck.
Well, since you brought up, coaching changes, I'm gonna get mine now.
Ooh.
It plays into exactly what Cat was just talking about, because I do believe there's no way in hell you would leave a comfy job like the Chargers in a better situation than going to the Raiders in that, I guess you could say reclamation project. But
I thought he was going to say cesspool. So good on you, Coach. I appreciate that.
I went to college. I got a few words that I can use. I got a few words in my Rolodex. But I do believe, from a hot take perspective, that there's a coaching change that's going to happen on its own volition that nobody really sees coming. And it's one of those things that, it's not a firing. It's just, I'm going to do something else. Much as I love this guy, I think Mike Tomlin's leaving the Steelers after this year.
Wow.
Regardless of what they do, they make the playoffs, don't make the playoffs, I think that he's going to go do TV. If you listen to this guy talk on the podium, he is very well-spoken, very eloquent with his words. He is very calculated in how he speaks. I think that he can go and get himself a Tom Brady-esque deal commentating or doing his own thing as far as network television or just, being on TV as an analyst in general. And I think he's leaving Pittsburgh. And I think that if they're smart, like the Steelers have typically done when they hire coaches of competency, they will call Jesse Minter, and Jesse Minter will take that job in Pittsburgh, and I wouldn't be mad at him.
Damn.
Oh, that's a hot.
Tomlin's going to replace Cower on CBS.
Right, exactly.
Coach, I got to ask, what's the ties that you're connecting the dots to? What ties does Minter have to either Pittsburgh or somebody over there?
I think it's just the fact that it's like a cornerstone franchise.
Pittsburgh, it's not in the division from the team you're leaving.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you want a guy with similar mindset that's hot on the coaching trail right now, that's due for a head coaching job, that's probably your prime candidate. He's not a retrade, he's a fresh face. He has, different, more modern schemes when it comes down to the idea of how he's playing or addressing football, how he plays football at this moment in time. He's younger. I think that's another thing with Tomlin. I think he has a more of an old school mentality, in a sense where Minter is a fresh young face, and his age would dictate, because you don't like to fire coaches, he will be there long term. So I believe that he's a prime candidate for them to take that job over and be there for a long time. He just has to be smart with his OC, and I think that's a big problem with the Steelers in general.
Not gonna be Arthur Smith, I'll tell you that.
Not gonna be Arthur Smith. I think they have not been smart with the hiring of their OC. And I think it was Tomlin's blind spot. He's hired guys that he feels comfortable with, not guys that are innovative and young and modern. So I think there's always been an issue, because for them to be the running team for the entirety of the Tomlin's tenure, that's been their identity. They have been running the ball well in 7 years. So I think they're just missing the boat with that. And I think Tomlin, rise off to the sunset. And again, if the first person I will call will be Justin Minter, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with you, though, Cap, that I think Minter would be the type of coach for them to get if they're trying to retain Crosby and make him happy. But you're also looking at, do you get someone that can develop a quarterback and build an offense around him too?
Then that's why I noticed I said Minter third. That's why I said I said Shula, and Shula's a defensive guy, which is weird. Because of the pedigree there, it's weird that he's a defensive guy, but LaFleur makes sense in that respect. So, but that's why I put the Shula in there, because of a defensive guy who has pedigree, who has young, and would take that. I threw Minter out there just to piss you guys off, but I would love it. But Minter taking that job anywhere would be a take back from the Garglers, and I had to say it at least once. Oh no, I've said it twice. I apologize. I
He
usually
almost made it a whole another hour before he said it.
yeah.
Again.
Right.
I try to limit the Gargler. Oh, I said it the third time. I try to limit to at least once a show. I apologize.
Mike Stairs on to something here. I like that thing.
Now he stole mine. Get out of my brain. Come on, man.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So
That's
my
where I'm going. Hey, Mike Dable, head coach, bring in Mendoza. Here we go. Turn this thing around.
Ain't no need meatballs, let
Hey,
alone.
You have no marbles.
Oh,
Meatballs?
Yo, you ain't no model. I tell you what, I'm in on Wayne's, but he better get some fucking offensive linemen, brother.
yeah,
That's
well, we know that.
Yeah.
That's another problem. Well, you got cap money. You get the second highest in cap money next year. So yeah,
And that's why I said you get the center from the Ravens.
Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, Lindebaum. You get, and it was Rasheed Walker. I said, yeah, Rasheed Wallace would be a great guy to get, but he's going to foul out within. He's going to foul out within the.
That's
I
funny.
like that. That was great, Rasheed Walker, or Wallace. But yeah, but if you get a center and a tackle that's legitimate, and then you build with what we have already, and you keep JPJ at guard, which I think he's actually better at. And you got all of these guys that we've drafted the last 2 years, Rodgers and Grant.
Yep.
You know, see where they got. We have Glaze. Glaze might be that other guy too. I don't know. You got pieces there, but you need a legit center. Either Lindebaum via free agency or get. And I swear this is not because I'm a Gator, but get Slaughter at center because he's the number 1 ranked center that I think I've seen in the draft queue. And yes, it's biased there, but you can't lose if you have a guy named Slaughter on the Raiders. Come on.
I'm right there with you. Cap. Because those are the two guys. I'm hoping the Chargers get one of them, either Linderbaum or Slaughter in the draft. So
It's
yeah,
gonna get more from Lindebaum. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. We got the money. Speaking of teams that got cap, we're gonna have over $100 million in cap to spend next year.
Right below the Raiders in cap space next year.
Yep.
So yeah.
Free agency is going to be real nice this year as opposed to last year. It was kind of so. I think it's going to be hot this year.
It's going to be hot. People won't get paid this year. That's for sure. There's a lot of hot names in the free agency pool this year as well. That's for sure. Okay.
And a lot of teams needing or both lines help, offensive, defensive line.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
the big guys are going to get paid.
Oh, for sure. Okay. All right. Any more hot takes before we get up out of here?
I'm glad that wait, I want to make sure I got the G's right. RG agrees with me about Slaughter at center.
Yeah, take it from a guy who's having to watch Bradley Bozeman play for 16, 17 weeks. I'll take anybody over that.
No, not just that. We haven't watched it for 2 years now.
It was a wrap once I saw that clip of Bozeman changing the protection, and Herbert says no.
Right, exactly.
There's like endless screenshots of just him sitting on his ass while 3 rushers are just coming right up the middle. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
You didn't take our boy that you picked up in free agency as your center this year? You didn't play him again?
I wanted to start him. Anybody over fucking Bradley Bozeman, man.
You can play center for us right now. It'd be an upgrade.
That man, I tell you that's sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? I'll take my hat off to you, Coach. That's just sorry.
Appreciate
I'm saying it's that bad.
I'll take a bit of a hot take this one. Not really a hot take, just kind of going with the games this week. The Chargers right now are minus 11.5, obviously, because Herbert has been announced that he is going to be sitting for this week 18 against the Broncos.
Man.
Take plus 11.5 for the Chargers all the way, man. These Broncos cannot blow anybody out. They cannot.
If you watch the Christmas game, against the JV squad.
Against Chris Oludokun,
Oladokin, man. Come on.
My apologies. Chris Oladokin. If they can't get plus 10 on him, or excuse me, minus 10 on him.
Olowokandi? Michael Olowokandi? I'm sorry.
I know that girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
take Chargers plus 11.5 or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
If it's plus 10, that's probably the least I'd go with it. But yeah, Chargers plus double digits.
They're 12.5 on
They're 12 and a
DraftKings.
half. Wow. Yeah, there you go.
Take that all day.
All
And
day.
I still take the 12.5.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude,
If you're getting 12 and a half, take that immediately.
Immediately.
Okay.
Or
Thank you.
changes.
Because what was the line? What was the line for the Chiefs game? Wasn't it?
I think it was like
close to
14,
that.
like 13 and a half or 14 and a half or something like that. And it
Yeah.
wasn't even close. It was, they never covered at any point throughout the game.
Ever.
So
Not
Never
once.
that's my little hot take / betting take of the week.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right. If these don't come through, I'm coming to Arizona, shipmate.
You just find a reason to make it to Arizona.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You got ulterior motive he not telling. Indeed. All right. So all hearts and minds are settled on hot takes this week before we get up out of here. All right. Good stuff. So as we wrap up the show, if you're looking for the Hit Squad in any facet, any place, hit them over on social media. If you got any Chiefs questions for the real AG Alex Givens, he's on socials, Twitter and Instagram. If you're looking for the Commanders information, you hit up Mike Dub. He's on Twitter and Instagram as well. If you're looking for the Chargers questions, hit up RG. He's on Twitter only. So hit him up in their spaces and say they can get your questions answered in that space as well. If you're looking for the NFL Nation live crew, Ref Guru, Violator, or Captain Jack Rackham, they are all on Twitter. And Captain Jack Rackham is also on Instagram and YouTube as well. So hit him up and give him a follow on that space as well. If you got any Raiders or referee questions that you need to ask for space.
Talk to me about football and sports. Come into my shows. I rarely, pimp my. Seriously, I rarely pimp the YouTube. Come on over to my YouTube and we'll talk sports for sure.
Indeed. If you're looking for the Lockdown Divas Sports Network in any space, anytime, we're on most social media platforms that you can get your smartphone onto. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Your YouTube algorithm know we're doing big things out here. And as always, man, everybody have a happy new year. Everybody get everything good. Going.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe as always. And and we'll be back next week. If you're looking for our subsidiary channel, the Electroshock Podcast is available to you as well for all Chargers news. Myself and Young RG through content on that show regularly. We're on all facets of social media platforms as well. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Gmail. So hit us up in that space if you have any questions regarding to that. And as always, man, we'll be
when you need the best information.
Fantasy's done.
Fantasy's over.
It's over.
Oh man, I had it. I apologize. I don't. You know
You
why
would
I don't
know.
know that? Because I don't play fantasy football.
You know how much money I won from fantasy though?
How much?
I got 1,300 in my Venmo right now. So.
Hey,
Not bad.
Man, I was ready to say for the best take on your championship game, go watch the Lightning Fast Fantasy Football Podcast.
Yeah, sure you were.
Come on, man. When have I not been saying that? No, seriously, because
You've been a good promoter. As much as you hate fantasy, you've been a good promoter. We'll give you credit for that.
I was ready for it. I said for your championship game, which obviously was last week that I didn't know about.
There you go. Yeah. So fantasy's over for this year, but if you're looking for any fantasy football advice for Dynasty and getting to next season, we'll be back in that space for the Lightning Fast Fantasy Football Podcast channel as well, coming up next season. But like I said, in before Cap went on his fantasy rant.
No, I was doing the drum roll, man. I was getting ready for you. I apologize for drowning out. I was ready, man. I was so ready, and I screwed it up. Coach, I apologize, sir.
Oh, good. Oh, good. You like I said, you don't play fantasy, so you didn't know that the fantasy football championship is over. So we'll get back to it next year. Get back to it this year. But like I said before, everybody have a happy new year. Go into 2026 better than you did for 2025. We'll be back next week as always for the Lockdown Blitz on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Standard Time. As always, again, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. The YouTube algorithm know we'll be doing big things out there. But any parting words, gentlemen, before you get up out of here?
Have a safe and happy new year, everyone.
Happy New Year to everyone, man.
Hats off. Happy New Year to everybody, and shalom and all that good stuff from all of the folks out. Hey, and when all is said and done, I love this crew here because we have fun together. And thank you for that. And happy New Year to everybody. Let's make 2026 the best for everybody.
Indeed.
It's definitely been a fun year with you cats, man. Look, I'm looking forward to next season already.
Hell yeah.
Already. So yes, we're not done yet. We're gonna still do the playoffs before we get up off our live schedule for the regular season. So we got some time left, but yeah, 2025 season.
Playoff.
2020
Playoff.
It's been a great season for sure. But so damn, that's gonna do it for us for 2025, man. We'll be back next week on Tuesday, like I said, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see you then. But in the meantime, in between time, that is young RG Robert Garcia. That is the real AG Alex Givens. That is the violator, the man, the myth, the legend himself. And that is Cap Jack Rackham. And as always, I'm Coach Defense, and we'll see you in 2026. But as always, you got to do one thing, and one thing well. You got to step up to lock it down.